And we love our runners, we love our team, and you know what else we love? We love the fact that we are ready for Super Mario Odyssey with CheeseJay running our complete the moon added incentive of all story moons. CheeseJay, take it away.
Hello, my name is CheeseJay, and today I'm going to be running Super Mario Odyssey All Story Moons. All Story Moons is kind of like the completionist version of the main game story. We're going to be going through and not skipping anything here. We're going to be grabbing every single story moon in the game, and we'll get into what a story moon is during the run. But for now, I think we're ready to start time. So I'll count down from 3 and we can start time on go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go!
Okay, so some basic movement tech I can get out of the way here. The first thing you're going to see me do, I guess, is just skip this cutscene. There's a bunch of cutscenes in the game, and majority of them are skippable, so we're going to be doing that. And the first thing you're going to see me do in terms of movement is a spin pound and transitioning that into a roll. So a spin pound is just like a faster ground pound input. You can do that by spinning the stick twice and then doing the ground pound inputs. And then you can roll by holding the crouch button and shaking the controller. And that's just the fastest ground movement speed you're going to see here. But in terms of Capcom, there's not really too much to say. But yeah. So about the incentive, did that get met already, JD? Or how are we looking on the incentive?
Indeed was met, so we will be completing that moon cave.
Okay, awesome. Small little optimization you're going to see me do here with the lever. I can just go into first person, snap in and out real quick, and that just speeds up this cutscene. Makes it so the camera doesn't have to pan during the cutscene. I can do it manually. And with that, we're going to be seeing our first capture of the run. These captures are the most important part of the entire run, if I could get to it. You can just throw your hat on a bunch of these different enemies or creatures here, and kind of take control of them, and they give Mario a bunch of different abilities. Like, as you can see with the frog, I can jump super high, and I'm using what's called vectoring to get through the air a little bit quicker. Just going diagonally on the stick to get some faster air movement. And we're going to be doing left side right here. Instead of just climbing up the right side of the tower, which is slow, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a trick jump there to get up the left side nice and quick. And Topper's a joke of a boss here in Cap Kingdom. He's going to be dead before I'm even able to finish explaining this. Or he won't be, because I'm mistimed my jump. Okay, there we go. Not a big deal. This guy's still a joke. Yeah, easy boss. And with that, we're going to be going on to Cascade. First Kingdom's already done in just under 2.5 minutes. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
JD, if you have any donations, now would be a good time while we're transitioning kingdoms here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the toss. I'm seeing everyone seeing some PB emotes of PB Mario in support of Super Mario Odyssey, as well as this comment saying that the next couple of runs are going to be cozy, longer runs. I've got my coffee here, and Team Fastest Furs is proud to welcome Dragon Roast Coffee as an event sponsor for Fall Fest 24. Dragon Roast Coffee is a dedicated coffee for gamers and the gaming community. Their small, passionate team puts their hearts into roasting coffee to order, and each batch is roasted with the mythical heat of dragon fire, infusing a touch of enchantment in every sip. Use the command !coffee in the chat for a link to their website, dragonroast.coffee, and while shopping, enter the promo code FALLFEST at checkout for 10% off your order. Plus, for each 12-ounce bag of coffee purchased, Dragon Roast Coffee will donate $5 directly to Trans Lifeline.
Yeah, give me a second. I have to focus up for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, focus away, Cheese, and don't worry, our eyes are peeled on your amazing gaming, and we'll get your camera on board. Thanks for letting us know, chat.
There we go. Okay, that's a really hard track, so I had to focus up for that. I'll explain it in a second, and I will get my camera fixed as soon as I have it down second after this boss fight. Okay, so that trick is known as Dino Skip Skip. It is the fastest way of getting up to Madame Brood here, which is the boss I'm going to currently fight. And it skips the old method of getting up here, which is Dino Skip, which is where you would use the dino and bounce off a trampoline to get up here. But Dino Skip Skip skips a cutscene that you would have to go through before Dino Skip by triple jumping and landing on that tiny little ledge there. It's very precise. That ledge is not very big at all. And it is very difficult, so I'm very happy I nailed that. Especially, well, being a little bit distracted by my camera. I don't know why my camera froze. 1 second. Can I... How can I go about fixing this? Because I don't really want to switch scenes into OBS. Yeah, we can do that.
So while we go ahead and get things ready, we're going to go do a quick break, get that camera on, but the gaming is absolutely going well. Chat, I've got an idea. Obviously, Odyssey has so many fun moments in it, but I'm curious, perhaps as a potential donation comment, go ahead and leave me information on what your favorite Mario power-up is. I'm really curious out there. So many different power-ups were shown and introduced in the various parts of the Mario series, Odyssey being no different. I am super curious what everyone's favorite power-ups are. Feel free to go ahead and make a donation and leave that as a comment. And did you know that for every donation that is at least $25, you get entered in for some amazing prizes? Well, thanks to the incredible generosity of our Fastest First community, we're thrilled to offer a different assortment of prizes, as well as a unique grand prize for each day throughout the event. During our weekend stream, cumulative donations of at least $50 during the stream will automatically qualify you to win our weekend grand prize, a 512 gigabyte LCD Steam Deck donated by the one and only Sonic Mega. Hey there, Sonic Mega, if you're in chat, thank you so much for your generous donation there. Additional prizes are available as well if you make a single donation of at least $25, like I said. So for a full list of prizes available for this weekend, use the command !prizes in chat. We're still optimizing here and would love to be able to remind everyone that we have all sorts of events, more than just the Fall Fest, as well as our appearance for the Spring Spectacular Fastest Furs Live at FWA 2025. The Fastest Furs Community Showcase features amazing speedruns of all kinds from members of the Fastest Furs community. If you're a speedrunner interested in participating in one of our monthly showcases, please use the command !showcase in the chat to fill out an application today.
Okay.
So I think we are set, CheeseJay, to get back over to you for some amazing Odyssey action. Let's go.
Okay, I'll count us back in for the timer here. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go!
Okay, sorry about that. I have no idea why my camera just decided on me for no reason. Okay.
That's never happened before.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick trick here with the chest called chest clip. I don't know if I got it. I can explain it here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so what I was trying to do there is do a backflip and then a cap throw with Mario right before he grabbed the moon. And if I timed it right, which I did there, it kind of jumps Mario backwards right during the Moongate cutscene, or like right before it, I think. And whenever that cutscene ends, it places Mario back in the game in a weird position, and it kind of puts him in the ceiling, and then you could use that to flip upwards like that and get to the Odyssey a little bit faster. And that's also used in a couple other places, particularly Woody Kingdom and Snow Kingdom. We'll see that moon clip tech used. But I'll bring it up again once we get there. But for now, we're going to be going on to Sand, and this is one of the two kingdoms that is different from World Peace, which is the main board version of this category, where you're allowed to skip some of the story moons and do some of the sequence breaks. But since I'm running all story moons, I'm going to be not doing those sequence breaks. And this is one of the two kingdoms where that is prevalent. We're going to be going through and collecting the Round Tower story moon and then the Shard story moon right after that. And something you're going to see quite prevalent throughout this run, I'm not going to be going out of my way for very many of these just quick moons that are not story moons very often, because there's so many story moons I'm going to be grabbing that I really don't need many other extra moons. So, for example, in Snow Kingdom, I'm only going to be grabbing 3 other moons that are not story moons. And I'm just gonna, like I said, a couple quick moves here on the way to the round tower. They're just kind of directly in my path, because that's all I really need. And coming up here, I'm going to be going for a trick called Dram Strat. And that is a strat that is a capture warp strat that the community also calls a Dram Strat, because it was found by the Dram 55, sorry. And it's where I can do a long jump here, up throw with Cappy, leave him behind there, grab the moon, and then shake. I don't think I got it. The Homamin, yeah, I didn't get it. But if I did it right, I could have shaked the Homamin there, and it would have captured the bill up top there. But I slightly mistimed something there. But not a big deal. Onto the round tower.
Yeah, you are still doing super great, CheeseJay.
Yep. Thank you. Hopefully I can nail the skip in this round tower too. I can do a little bit of a bullet bounce here to get up to these moving platforms a little bit quicker and go ready to grab this secret moon here in the round tower. And with that is the first story moon I mentioned earlier done. We're going to be going straight to the second one, and then going to be going from there straight to Harriet, which is the first boss fight we're going to see in this kingdom, the first of two. And the fastest way to get over to the shards area is not taking that moving platform, because that's very slow. I'm going to drop back down this way, and then this Bullet Bill is going to spawn, and I'm going to capture it as soon as it spawns and fly it over this way. Because Bullet Bills are significantly faster than moving platforms. At least that one. That one's terribly slow. And I'm just going to be doing a little bit of fancy movement with Mario and Cappy here to make sure I grab all the shards as fast as I can.
Gotta go fast.
Nice, I got that. That's hard movement. That RCB is really hard. Because you can't really see the edge of the platform there because it's invisible. So I kind of have to just know where everything is there. And then it's very easy to die on this last shark because this is another invisible platform if I have too much momentum. You think I'm okay, though? Yeah, I'm okay.
Nice.
And just like that, we're done with this shard story moon. The way you're meant to see the invisible platforms that I completely skipped over is by using the Moai capture. If you capture the Moai and then put on his sunglasses, you can see all the invisible platforms. But as a speedrunner, I do not need to do that. And on to the inverted pyramid. Now, there is a skip I could be doing here known as IP skip. That lets me skip the interior of the IP, but it is very difficult, and you really only see it at record level. It is a very difficult corner clip that, if you fail it, you can lose a lot of time very quickly. So I'm not going to be going for that. I'm just going to be going into the inverted pyramid and climbing up the intended way. That's like one of the only skips I don't do in this category. It's also nice just to see this part of the game, I think, so. Especially in a category like this where you're not really meant to be skipping too much.
Mm-hmm.
I can sneak in there and not take a hit. If I do a crouch jump, it's very precise. And the reason I want to avoid taking damage is because if I take damage and then collect a power moon, that's not a story moon, or that's not a multi-moon, rather, I will be taking a health refill, and those lose 2 seconds. So I'm trying to avoid that, if I can. And just like that, we are almost done with the IP, and going on to Harriet. And Harriet is a very simple boss fight, as we are still very early in the game. All you have to do, Harriet's going to throw some bombs at me, and all I have to do is knock them back into her. There is some crazy stuff I can do with Harriet later in the run, but I can't do it here in this boss fight, and I'll explain why once we get to the second Harriet boss fight in Bowser's. Oh, a little bit of a bonk. And here we go. I will be standing in specific spots in this arena, though, and that's just to make her hop around less. It's very easy. It's something that literally anybody could do while you're doing this boss fight. All you have to do is stand in sort of the spots I'm standing in. They're not even very specific at all. Something literally like casuals could even do this. It's very easy. So, yeah, just knocking her bombs back into her, and then standing at this back spot against this wall so she hops less. And with that, Harriet is dead. And JD, if you have any donations, go for it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we have some people shouting out their favorite power-ups from the Mario series. We have Heathclaw donating $25, getting entered in for those prizes, by the way, that says, as a cat, my favorite power-up has got to be the cat bell. Let's get that glitch exhibition met. That's right. Thank you so much, Heathclaw. We also have a $25 donation from Sev that says, gotta go with a classic, Hammer Bros suit. Ooh, that was a very good suit too, for sure. Yeah. Do I got time for one more?
Yeah, go for it. You have time for one more donation.
Yeah. We have a $25 anonymous donation for the naming character bid war, inserting a new name, trans rights. It says with a comment, imagine wearing your fursuit like Mario does with the Tanuki or cat suit. Full body suit with an opening exposing your face. Gotta think about that one. Thank you so much for that generous donation supporting Trans Lifeline, and indeed, trans rights is now in the running for that naming character bid war.
You love to see it. Okay, now we're hopping into the last part of the story for Sand Kingdom here, and that is the Ice Cave. This will lead up to Knuckle Attack, and I'm going to be grabbing one moon before we go to Knuckle Attack, and that is this Goomba Stack moon here. I can do a fancy RCB with the ice to get there. Ice movement is always really fun when you can nail it. And I'm going to be doing some fast captures with these bullet bills. Going to be risking Mario's life a little bit here. Hopefully I can nail both of these. That looks good. And then I could do some tech with the bullet bill where I hold Y for the first shake, and then I let go of Y, and that gives me a lot more speed, and I can just skip across the entire second bullet bill capture that you're supposed to do. And just zoom across that bit. And I'm going to be doing that one more time with the second bill here. Same thing again with capture. There we go. And then I could fly into the Knuckle Attack arena. And I'm actually going to be doing the same thing with Knuckle Attack Splits as well, because they act pretty similar to bullet bills. And this is one of the bosses that doesn't really have a lot of fast strats to speed it up. All I can really do here after knocking him in the face once is roll down the center of the arena, and that just makes his face move across the arena less, saving 1 second per phase for a total of 2 seconds. And this is just your classic hit fist into face boss that you would see in Mario. I believe there was one in Mario 64. And yeah, not really much to say about this boss other than just punch him in the face and that's it. Gonna be standing in specific spots to get the ice to land close to his face so I can have the fist capture it really fast. That's, I guess, another piece of speed tech. All the time tips in this are very minimal. This is a very scripted fight. You can save like a few seconds here and a few seconds there, but that's about it. There's no major skips with this boss. Just gotta do the boss the way it's intended to be done. And the last hit here. And with that, we are done with Sand Kingdom. We're going to have a lot of cutscenes here before we go on to Lake. So, JD, if you want to read a bunch of donations here and just go ham, go for it.
All right. Well, chat, let's definitely get those bunch of donations in. Type an ! Donate in chat. Remember, I'd love to read off what your opinions of the best Super Mario Super Power-Ups are all throughout the series. And when making a donation, don't forget to assign it to an incentive or to a bid war. The option is visible while filling in your donation and helps to make the marathon the best it can be. To see a list of all incentives and bid wars for the entire marathon, you could use the command ! Incentives in chat. For example, this Pokemon Legends Arceus run for the glitch exhibition is sitting at $231 out of $750. Just over $500 to go, and that run is coming up. So you don't want to miss out for the chance for more Pokemon, more speedrunning, more support for Trans Lifeline. Chat, I know you could do it. Let's go make it happen. Let's see if we could beat and make that $10,000 milestone.
I got something fun to note as well, real quickly. That was actually the fastest I've ever done that second chunk of sand there. That was a gold.
Yo!
So that's really cool. Not that I've done a whole lot of story mode speedruns, but it was a gold.
Hey, take the wins, and you are doing amazing. Oh my goodness. Let's hear it for her in the chat. Let's go.
Okay, now we're on to Lake Kingdom here. This is a very quick kingdom. The route for this is just like the old school any percent route, where we just grab the fastest moons right before Rango and then do Rango at the end to end the kingdom. There's really not too much to say about like. Okay, there we go. There's a little bit of a tricky jump around the corner there to get that wire without a cap bounce, or that zipper rather without a cap bounce. But yeah, very quick kingdom here. There's no story minutes before Rango. You could just go to Rango as soon as the kingdom starts if you want. And yeah, this is like only a 3-minute kingdom. We're in and out of here pretty dang fast.
Nice.
We're already like halfway done, I think, just about. Gonna be grabbing a Dory Moon, and then a Moon on a Pillar, and then we'll be fighting Rango, and Rango is a very quick boss fight. All the Brutals you're gonna see here before the major boss fights are very, very quick. They have a lot of fast strats you can do to just skip like all their phases. And because Lake is a smaller kingdom, there is only one boss. Like I said, it's just Rango. Some of these kingdoms have 2, and some of them have 1. And so all we're gonna see is Rango here, and I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a skip with this fish here. Swimming upwards, and then hopping out at the peak of the fish jump to skip up to this Rango boss fight just like that. And then I'm going to be cheating in the children's video game with Rango here. I'm going to be backflipping on his hat, and then ground pounding right through him because he doesn't have a hitbox, and I can land right back on top of him like that.
So
and
good.
Rinse and repeat. And just like that, he's dead. Very easy boss fight.
But still, such skill. You are doing amazing, Cheese.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Trying my best.
I also noticed inside, like, I get a little bit of a different timing delay, so I'm seeing, like, applause in the chat, of course, for support of your amazing speedrun, but also kind of a callback to Dangers, who has run this as well, and the clap with getting the moons.
Yes.
If you want to participate in chat, like, use the PB Mario emote whenever we get a moon, or a clap of your choice. Let's definitely see that support.
Dangers ran this at FWA last, I believe.
Yes!
Not long ago. That was a very fun run. He ran Talk at 2%, which is one of my favorite Odyssey categories. Such a fun run, especially for marathon showcases. Also, Remains is great too, though, because you get to see parts of the game that you would never get to see in a normal speedrun, specifically in Snow Kingdom, which we'll come up to. There's a boss fight that gets skipped in like 99% of categories that I'm going to be able to showcase here. And since the Moon Cave incentive got met, I'll be able to showcase that as well, which gets skipped in 99% of categories because of its length.
So good, though, and thank you, viewers, for helping to get that incentive met!
Yes, the Moon Cave has so much fun movement that I'm excited to go through. But for now, we're in Wooded, and this is another 2-boss kingdom, so I'm going to be fighting Spirit first, and then we'll be moving on to Turk Drift. I missed this bunny here at first, not a big deal, easy backup. And then we're going to be smashing 2 rocks together. A lot of these first moons are very fast. These first 2 moons are like the same in almost every single Odyssey category. You always do the bunny and then transition that into the rock. And then we're going to be coming up to a very important nut. This is the nut that's tucked away at the end of the tunnel. And the reason this nut is very important is because it is another one of the moon clip spots where if I time my inputs right, I could use it to clip out of bounds and skip a lever here. It's more useful in a category like any percent where it would save like 30 seconds, but here it only saves like 8-ish.
Right.
I messed that up. I miscounted my jumps. No big deal.
No!
Yeah, this would be the lever you would usually skip though, because it has this cutscene here. It doesn't save that much in this category, so it's not very important to get. And you can skip the uproot by doing that. I don't think what I'm doing here is faster, but it looks flashy, so I like doing it. That's like a very old school movement. I've seen like one runner do that ever, but I thought it looks flashy, so I like doing it.
Yeah.
And then the nut, the red maze. At top level, this is a very infamous nut because you could do a triple jump in clip to clip out of bounds here. It's not useful in this category, but in any percent, it's very useful at world record level. Okay, I didn't get the speed I wanted there with that roll cancel around the corner, so I almost fell into Deep Woods, but I was able to back that up quite nicely. And yeah, if you don't know what Deep Woods is, it's directly below me at pretty much all points in this kingdom, so if I fall, it's worse than dying. And it's,
oh, wow.
It's a very scary place where you can't warp out of, you don't have a compass. It's a very costly mistake. It's like a minute plus time loss if you fall down there, so I'm trying my best not to do that. And right here, I'm going to be doing 2 tricks back to back. Left flower road skip right there. And then I'm going to be transitioning that into some fancy movement to get up to this nut. And then after I grab this nut moon, I'm going to be doing a trick called tower skip. And that just lets you skip the inside of the tower by doing a very fancy triple jump. Right here. There we go. And then right here. And that, like I said, that lets me skip the inside of the tower by doing some tricky movement on the outside of the tower. And now we're going to be fighting Spirit.
So good. And welcome in, Apollo L. Thank you so much for the raid and bringing your community here. You're watching Super Mario Odyssey, run by CheeseJay, and she's showing off all story moons here at Fastest First Fall Fest, supporting Trans Lifeline.
And with that, Spirit is dead. And just some simple backflips to land on him, and then jumping on his hat to skip him spewing around the arena. It is very important that I nail all the strats, because if I fail anything there, it's very hard to back it up, and you just lose like 15-20 seconds. That's one of the hardest backups.
So expertly, well done.
Yeah, like I said, not a very hard boss fight. No, none of the strats are very hard, but if you mess them up, it's a very hard backup. And now we're going to be going on to the Torque Drift boss fight. We're going to be grabbing like 2 moons before, and we're just going to be going straight into Torque Drift, which is another one of the scripted boss fights that doesn't have very many skips involved with it. But we'll get into that once we get there. First, I gotta do some fancy movement here with Mario to get up to the tank section. Perfect, and then we're gonna be capturing this tank, and hopefully only using 1 shot. Perfect, to break that open completely, so I can use precise movement with Mario to get all the way up there and grab this moon behind the rock wall. And then I'll be grabbing some rocket fires to get up to max speed, and using them to get over to this nut right here. Lots of nuts in Woody Kingdom. Oh, I missed my ground pound. Not a big deal. And we're going to be going over to the target moon now. This is the moon where I just have to aim precisely with the tank. The tank definitely has very awkward controls where you have to control a lot of the aiming with motion controls rather than the control stick. So I am just trying to make sure I aim as precisely as I can here. And perfect, got all those targets first try. Right here, the tank controls aren't really too prevalent with hitting the targets, but later in the Mecha Wiggly boss fight, they can be quite annoying. So if you're not super comfortable with the tank, it can be very hard to do that boss fight quite fast. And with that, we're going to be going into Torque Drift, which is another one of the scripted boss fights, like I said. I just have to do the intended strats, which you'll see he's going to spawn a bunch of like laser blocks, and I just have to hit the middle of them to kill him, and then I'll have to go into the middle of the boss to get the hit. So we're going to be using this uproot here, and hitting the middle of him to get my first hit and start the boss fight, and then we have to break all these blocks here. There we go. There's going to be some tech I'm going to be trying to go for after this phase called Speedy Nut Boy, and that just speeds up the uproot speed here a little bit if I do a little of a precise jump off this spawning platform. I can never tell if I have it or not. I don't think I have it yet. Hold on. Let me try again. No, I don't think I have it yet. Essentially what I'm trying to do is jump off the spawner in a precise way, and it lets me cancel the fall stun of the uproot. I think I have it here. I think this looks decent. I don't know, this is like a newish trick I'm trying to learn. It's a little bit precise. It doesn't really save much. It saves like 3 or 4 seconds on this boss fight, something very minimal. And it just lets me run around the arena a little bit faster. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit decent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I took a hit there, no big deal. This boss fight is very scripted, so JD, if you have some donations, go ahead and read them.
I do indeed have lots of stuff to be able to read. Thank you so much. Following up on the Best Mario Power-Up donation train, again, !donate, if you'd love to have me read out what you feel like your favorite power-up is. We have Rubicante donating $5 that says, I gotta be a stereotypical furry here. My favorite Mario power-up is any power-up that results in Transformation, less than 3. I think I very much agree with you on that one. And a very special donation from Dangers, who's here in the chat, $50, also towards that glitch exhibition that says, "Hello, JD and CheeseJay. So exciting to see Jay showing off a unique category of the best speed game of all time. Best of luck." And they don't have a bird power up in Mario games, Surge. But does the Pokio capture in Odyssey count? I think it does. I think it does, chat.
If you ask Spike Vegeta, he would say that's his little Tweety bird.
Right? Exactly. So thank you so much, everyone. Go ahead,
yes.
Cheese, back to you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with that, we're done with What It, and thank you for the donations, everyone. We love to see it. And thank you for the good luck, Dangers. I think he said good luck on that, did he?
He did, yep.
Okay. And we're going to be moving on to Cloud, which is just a boss fight kingdom. We're not going to be getting any moons in this kingdom because there are none. So all I'm going to be doing is going to Cloud here. I'm fighting Bowser. This is a very quick kingdom, only like a minute long for the entire kingdom. I will be doing a little bit of fast strats from this fight, though. These are some cool fast strats. I can get really close to Bowser's hat here, and if I jump and cap throw above it, I can instantly grab it and just attack him right away, which I'll showcase here 3 times. This first phase, I have to roll up to him really fast, and then do a double jump, and then just like that, I can instantly get his hat. And I'm punching him in a very specific way here to manipulate him so he jumps the least amount of circles here, and then I'm gonna saves like 2 seconds. And then with these last 2 phases, I'm going to be going right up to the hat and then doing a backflip and a cap throw to grab it, just like that. And then once again, punching him in a specific way here. So he gets knocked and then jumps the least amount of squares. A little bit of a manipulation there. And then last hat, I am going to be taking an intentional hit. And just like that, we're done with Cloud. Easy peasy. And we're going to be moving on to Lost, which is another very fast kingdom that a lot of speedrunners like because it's just moon after moon after moon after moon very quickly. It only lasts like 2 minutes.
Nice.
We're in and out of that kingdom. Lots of very fast and flashy movement. I'll be showcasing here, hopefully, if I can nail it all. Let's see. This is one more cutscene. There we go. I'm going to be doing a trick called Meme Tree where I do a cap return jump off this tree, and it lets me navigate around the kingdom in a specific way to avoid triggering Klepto, which he would steal my hat. And I'd have to go through an entire sequence where I get Cappy back, which is not great. It's very long. This is like a minute. So we're going to hopefully be avoiding Klepto the entire time.
Here we go.
Nice Meme Tree to start. And then we're going to be doing some precise movement here to get this butterfly nice and fast without him flying away, hopefully. There we go. Lots of hard movement in this game, so I'm really trying to focus in so I don't fall, because that is like the worst thing that can happen is falling and dying in this kingdom. I am constantly above 1-hit death poison, so any mistake and I'm losing a whole boatload of time here. And then I'm going to be walking over to Klepto's trigger here and just triggering him. He thinks he has Cappy by me doing this. He thinks he has Cappy in his mouth right now, but he does not. So now I'm able to roam through the entire kingdom however I want without triggering him and getting my hat stolen. And then I'm just be doing some camera manipulation here to off-screen that front block. So the torpedo hits the back one. Essentially, if something isn't on screen, it doesn't exist in this game, so I can abuse that right there. And then I'm going to be doing a trick called Cage Triple. Oh, no! Okay, that's not that big of a mistake. I can get right back there pretty quick. That's a harder trick that I've recently learned. I almost got it there. I was just slightly off. There's a little ledge you can land on there. I just have to be very careful. How do I want to do this? You know what? We're going to do... I don't want to risk anything in a marathon setting, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back through and trigger Klepto. That's probably my safest bet, actually.
Nothing wrong with safety strats. You are doing amazing, CheeseJay. Let's get that support and hype in the chat.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Because if I don't trigger Klepto, he could still steal my hat. Essentially, if you don't hear that music going, and then I step in the wrong spot, I could get my hat stolen, which would be very bad. So I'm just going to play that safe. Okay, no big deal. That death will put me right back at the Odyssey, so not a big deal. And with that, we are done with Lost Kingdom there. If you have any more donations, JD, go for it.
Thank you so much. I want to remind everyone that we do indeed have a glitch exhibition incentive that is open. Leif had donated $10 saying, my favorite Mario power-up is one that hasn't gotten love in a while, the OG Cape. Indeed, back to Super Mario World, the ability to fly, so awesome. That puts us at $296 out of $750 goal for the Pokemon Legends Arceus Glitch Exhibition incentive. And speaking of $750, if we are just under $750 for hitting $10,000 for the fastest first 2024 marathon, can we do it, chat? Let's go!
Yes, get your donations in. And now we're in Night Metro. Metro is split up into two different sections here. We have Night Metro first, and then we have Day Metro. We can't get any of the quick moons in the kingdom until we first kill the Mecha Wiggler boss that's terrorizing the kingdom, which is why it's raining at nighttime. So we have to go through and do that immediately. There's like 2 or 3 quick moons we could grab on the way, but that is about it. One of which you're going to see right here. Girder Sandwich. Little moons hidden between these 2 girders here. Oh, I bonked my head there. Okay, we're good. And then this next one coming up is going to be Swing in the Breeze, and then we're going to be going into the Power section, which has some really quick pull movement that you're going to see here. That's, I think this is like the only place in the run that it's showcased. I hopped right over that moon. That is my bad. Luckily, I have a really good backup right there to save that. Okay, I thought I did it again. Wow, that was a little bit scary. Okay, then I'm going to land on the skirter. There we go. Okay, get in there, please. So yeah, going to be doing a lot of fast movement to just make the elevator cycles, so I don't have to wait for anything here. And then I'm going to be climbing this pole really fast, just sandwiching Mario between the wall and the pole, and spamming wall jumps to get up to it, climb it really fast. And then right here we have a chest moon I could quickly grab, and then we're going to be moving on to the Mecha Wiggler boss fight. And I'm going to be skipping part of the tower here by doing a long jump over that gap. Looks scarier than it is. The camera does fight me there a little bit, so I have to be aware of that, but really not a bad long jump at all. It is quite punishing if I fail it, though. Okay. With that, we're going to be using the tank again, like we saw earlier, to kill Mecha Wiggler. My goal is to kill this boss in 2 phases here, so this being the first one. And then he's going to roam around the arena a little bit. I'm going to be sitting in specific spots to make him roam the least distance throughout the arena. So I'll stand here, and then I'm going to go this way. And it just makes it so he goes out of the wall and then instantly goes back in the wall, as you can see right there. Okay, a little bit of a... not really like a minor skip, or major skip or anything. Just a little bit of a minor skip. And now I'm going to be trying to aim precisely with the tank to hit all these segments and kill them in this second phase here. Shooting a couple of the fireballs. Yeah, that was a really good Mecha Wiggler for my standards. I got a good pattern there. The patterns are RNG for the second phase. I think there's 22 different patterns you can get, and some of them are faster, some of them are slower, some of them are easier, some of them are harder. I got a pretty good one there. A lot of the world record level runners have memorized all the patterns at this point. There's like a spreadsheet for it. But I haven't gone through and bothered and done that. I just have a feel for the boss, and it just works out, typically.
Well done.
But yeah, more cutscenes. If you want to read a donation or two, JD, go for it.
Yeah, definitely. For those of you who are new to the Fastest Furs community, do you know that you can get yourself some Fastest Furs swag? We're thrilled to once again partner with Timberwolf Trading to bring our Fall Fest 2024 marathon shirts to you. Use the command !merch in chat to browse our new Fall Fest 2024 designs from Blue Arts, Flux, Rotim, CheeseJay, and Autumn Wyvern. $5 from each shirt purchased will be donated directly to Trans Lifeline. They'll only be available until the end of the event, so don't miss out on your chance to pick one up today. You can also check out the entire Timberwolf Trading store online at www.timberwolftrading.ca, where you can order your own custom stickers, shirts, laser engravings, and more from this furry-owned business.
Okay. There we go, okay. So I'm trying to use the scooter there to clip into that moon there. You can tilt Mario using motion controls or you can tilt the scooter using motion controls to clip Mario's head right into that cage and grab that moon the unintended way. Takes a little bit of time if you get it first try, but I messed up the setup a little bit. And now we're going to be going straight for the story moons. Just using these pulls to speed up Mario's movement a little bit, get him up to max speed, and then hop over this way to talk to Pauline. And going into first person again, just a little bit faster on the dialogue to go into first person. Oh, I ran right into this guy, my bad. And now we're just going to be collecting the 4 musicians to start up the festival. Pauline is very blind, you can't see the drummer right next to her, unfortunately. So it
is unfortunate, yeah.
This is probably the best kingdom for peace in the game. A lot of fun movement here, and then the festival that we're going to see in a minute is very, very fun. Lots of fun movement there, and lots of good music. But before we do that, gotta talk to 3 more musicians, and then turn on the powers in the sewer. And I'll be able to show off a pretty cool trick in the sewers. Hopefully I can get it pretty fast. It's a really, really hard trick that I'm going to be going for. It says very minimal time, but it looks pretty flashy, so hopefully I can get it quick. Oh, I missed one musician. That's fine, not a big deal. I can grab... The musician order doesn't matter here at all, because you always get warped back to the city hall there with Pauline after every single musician, so I just have to make sure I don't forget any. Typically, I grab a different musician third here, but not the end of the world. And I'm going to be going for a bullseye on this moon. Nailing it. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a tricky double long jump here off the fence to get over to this musician. Yeah, it's very easy. Just either miss your long jump off the fence there or bonk on the way up to the sky and fall all the way down and lose a bunch of time. So, very happy that went well. And with that, we have 1 more musician left to grab before we can turn on the power for the sewers. And it's this guitarist right over here. Very easy movement to get to him. Just gotta warp and roll right to him. This is by far the easiest musician. Next to the drummer, I guess, because all you have to do is, like, walk. And now Pauline's gonna prompt me to turn on the power in the sewers, which I can do. And I'm gonna be going for a trick here called Sewer Clip, which utilizes a roll cancel, which is how you skip the sequences in Sand and Snow if you're doing World Peace. But in this category, you're not allowed to do that. But I can still show off the roll cancel right here with Sewer Clip. All I'm gonna be doing is doing a round pound and then into a roll and canceling that with a cop throw. This one is very precise, but I just got it first try. Okay.
First try, let's go!
That is not as easy as I made it look. You love to see it. Oh my gosh, I could take a minute on that. That was very lucky. I have easily lost a minute plus of that before. Wow. Dangerous can attest that that is a very hard trick.
Dangerous says in chat, actually cracked. I love it.
That's just one of the tricks that some of the runners have a knack for, and I feel like I have a knack for it. And I got very lucky there too. I am not going to take full credit for that because that's a very hard trick.
Hey, no, you got skill as well, CheeseJay. You're doing amazing.
Okay, festival time. If you have your jam emotes, make sure to get them out right now. This is the jammer part of the run. Lots of fun 2D movement here. We're going to be skipping the secret moon in the festival just because it's slow. And I think that makes the movement a lot more fun, too. The secret moon kind of makes you slow down a lot and makes you lose speed, but without the secret moon, I could just zoom right through the festival here. And you're going to see that coming up. I'm also on a cycle for the entirety of festival, so if I mess up any movement, I could be off cycle and take damage to the barrels, but as long as I'm just keeping up my speed all the way through, I'll know where the barrels are for every single screen here. And as you can see, I can just narrowly avoid damage there just by running really fast. And then the last screen here has a little bit more precise 2D movement. This is the longest screen by far. I'm just going to take an intentional hit there. I think I was slightly off cycle, but if I'm going to take damage, this is the screen where I want to do it, because it's the last screen, and it saves the most time here. Okay, I'm gonna... yeah, there we go. I just want to make sure I didn't take a third hit to DK Sparrows there, played it a little bit safe. And with that, we are done with the festival. We're going to be going on to Snow Kingdom. Going for a first-person shot there. Saves a little bit of time, and it looks cool. That's my screenshot spot of the run. Every time you go in first person there, you get a different camera angle. It's really weird. But, yeah. If you have any donations, Shady, go for it while we're traveling over to Snow.
Indeed. We have an anonymous $5 donation put towards that glitch exhibition that says, "It's me, Mario! Let's go raise money for a trans lifeline! Woohoo!" Thank you so much for that donation, whoever you are out there. And yes, I will go ahead and try my best at some impressions if you put that inside the donation chat. Those that watched Extra Life a couple weeks ago know I could do a pretty good Toad.
I guess since we were talking about golds as well, because I got first try sewer clip, that was like a 22. That was like a 22-second gold. That was ridiculous. That was like, I could not play that split better if I tried. That was ridiculous.
Absolutely huge.
Okay, go for more donations, JD.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to celebrate that we are over $300 put towards that glitch exhibition incentive. That $750 goal is getting closer and closer. Chat, you know what to do. Let's get that incentive met. Arceus is the next run, so we need to get those donations in.
Yeah, we gotta support my good old friend Blood. And like I said earlier, this is the kingdom where we only get 3 moons other than the story moon, so we can just hop straight into Shiveria here. And then the first moon is just going to be directly behind me here, entrance to Shiveria. And then we're going to be grabbing 2 more moons here, and then we're going to be hard focusing on the story. The next moon being the chest here. I can sneak Cappy around that corner there if I do it right, and the chest will just be open waiting for me. And then this next moon has a little bit of a minor time save, a little bit of a moon clip like I did earlier. Oh, if I could spawn the moon. I think I got it there, and that just lets me... I was in and then I was out, no big deal. It would have let me go through the wall and hop down rather than hopping down this way. It would probably, in this category in particular, probably save itself in a second, I'll be honest. But in other categories, like World Peace, it saves a whole lot, because it lets you get straight into the Bound Bowl. But we have to grab the Story Moons before going into Bound Bowl in this category, so you're going to see me fight Rango, which is the boss I mentioned earlier that we see in, like, 0 categories total in Snow. This is the exact same as the, like, boss fight, though, except I'm on ice, but that doesn't change anything. I can do the exact same movement and the exact same skips. I'm just standing on this Story Moon platform here so I don't slide around on the ice. And just like that, he's dead. Easy peasy boss fight.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Brutals don't really get harder during the main game here at all. They just stay the exact same for both times we fight them. But they do get harder in Dark Side because of low gravity, I would argue. That makes them harder, but the fights in themselves never really change, even in Dark Side. It's just the only change is low gravity there. Okay, we're going to be going on to Poison Room now, and the last 3 rooms here, you're going to see me just skip everything because we don't need any moons in them other than the story moons. Nice. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a precise trick jump here, using the gust from this Blowy Joey, doing a jump all the way across the poison there. Please don't knock me in the poison. Okay, thank you. And then capturing this Blowy Joey over here, and then knocking all the Spinies right off the platform. And there you go. That is a very hard trick jump. It's very easy to miss the cycle for that first Blowy Joey or get pushed off the edge by the Spinies. So I'm glad that went well. And we're going to be doing another jump in this next room to skip the entire room again. This is so fun in this category because you just skip everything in all the rooms. Just with a really cool and flashy movement. Very nice pipes up there. Oh, there we go. Hopefully I can get this. This movement's harder because it's on ice. I believe that should work. Nice. Got it. and you could just abuse a little bit of a vault there to get over the gap. It's just hard to set up the vault on ice because you're gonna be, as you saw, I did a rule cancel to set up the vault while going at max speed, so it's very hard. It's very easy to get a slightly wrong angle there on the stick or slide on the ice just a little bit too much, and then just fall to your death because you did not run into Cappy there. Something on that guy's head. And then this is the one room we can't really do a skip in. We have to collect all these shards. So I'm just gonna be doing some fast movement with Mario and Cappy to collect these shards. Nice. Not really that flashy, just jumps and cap throws, if I'll be honest. It's nothing too crazy. Cappy did not want to cooperate there. Playing with Cappy in this game is very fun, but it's also very frustrating at the same time, because you'll try to go to home into something like a shard there, like I did twice, and he'll prioritize the coin over the shard, because that is how he's programmed. Yeah, that's how he's programmed, so oftentimes he will not cooperate with you, and you just have to fight. You're fighting against him all the time, but luckily I have a lot of experience with that, and I just come to expect it.
Yeah. And I see that. Go ahead, Cheese.
Sorry, I was just gonna say we're gonna be starting up the race here. The Bound Bowl race. Typically this is the one part of the run where I like to encourage people to guess in the chat. Good guesses for me are anywhere from 55 to 100. And if you guess right to the second decimal point, I will be gifting a sub. So go for it. Get all your guesses in.
There you go. Let's get those guesses in between 55 and 100. Let's see how long this race will go.
Yeah, I'm going to be trying to zoom through this race with this Shavarian here. He's too scared to do the race, but I'm going to capture him and force him to do it. The only way to bring peace to this kingdom is by doing the race. If you have any donations while the race is going on, go for it, JD.
Sure thing. I am seeing all these predictions inside chat as well. And a huge thank you to Shockwave, who subscribed to the channel. Team Fastest Furs wants you to know that all revenue from Twitch subscriptions and cheered bits received during this weekend's event will support our events now and into the future, including our upcoming Fastest Furs Live at FWA 2025 event, which will be returning to Furry Week in Atlanta next year. Please consider subscribing now to get our Fastest Furs emotes, including this PB Mario, featuring the always adorable PB the Cheetah. And don't forget to check to see if you have your free Twitch Prime Gaming sub available too. Let's go!
Okay. So, admittedly, I've never gone on my way and practiced this race. All my practice comes from in runs. So, I'm not the most experienced in the world with this race. Some of the top-level runners end up getting something like 50 seconds flat on a good run. But I do try my best. It's a fun race to do in runs. I've never had the urge to go through and practice this race. But I do enjoy doing it in runs.
Yeah, you are doing great, and these predictions keep coming on in inside chat. Let's see where it lands.
Final lap here. Last 2 turns. And there we go, 56-14. Is there any 56-14s in chat?
Let's double check. 56?
I'm not seeing any, unfortunately.
Oh, no 56-14s.
Oh well, next time.
Thank you so much for participating. Yes, better luck next time. But awesome stuff. You beat most of chat's predictions too. So gotta go fast, CheeseJay. You're doing amazing.
Yep, trying my best. And we're just gonna be traveling to Seaside here. So if you got any more donations, JD, go for it.
I want to remind everyone that I'm still curious about favorite power-ups, and I did put it out there that I'll do some Mario character impressions. We'll see how good I can do if you end up putting that inside the donation. So let's go ahead and get those donations in. ! Donate in chat to get to that webpage. We still have less than $450 to go for that glitch exhibition for Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yes, please. We want to see more Pokemon content from my good old pal Blood. He always crushes it. Okay, Seaside is another kingdom where there's just a bunch of Stormins, similar to Snow. A lot of water movement with the Gushing you're going to see. And I'm going to be doing some flying with the Gushins to skip a lot of the intended routing. Particularly with the lighthouse, you can skip the lighthouse cave with the Gushing, and I'll be showcasing that pretty much as soon as I land here. And then we're gonna be, after we collect the 4 Stormins, we're gonna be fighting Brigadier Mollisnut to the Third to find out Blaine, my favorite boss. This is arguably the hardest boss fight in the game for me. It's very hard to control the camera during this fight if you don't claw the controller, so lots of awkward movement with the Gushin during the fight, but I will be trying my best to do all the skips in the fight. Hopefully I nail the skip. And just like that, we have the first Storyman, and we're going to be hitting these 4 buttons to knock him in the head to trigger the fight. And then, like I said, we're going to be skipping the Lighthouse Cave because I left the Gushin on this ledge here. I can fly him up to this upper ledge, and then fly him all the way over, and then I'm going to be keeping him alive here, hopefully, by leaving him on the little ledge there. If I bring him any closer, the Storyman cutscene will despawn him, so it's very important that I land him right on the edge there, so I can use him right after I grab pound this button to get into the water and fly to the next couple moons. There we go, kept him alive, just like that. And now he's going to be sinking into the water, and we're going to be going over here and capturing a Cheep Cheep to grab some underwater moons, just 2. Oh, Mario's not facing the right way. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to be trying to avoid this seaweed here. And grabbing this dangerous ceiling moon. And then grabbing Dory. Percy Dory. And then there's another Gushin right here that I'm going to be capturing. And hopefully I can bullseye the Story Moon. I always like to try to go for that. Perfect. And right on top of the moon with the Gushin and ground pound right into it. Nice and fast. And then with that, we only have 2 more buttons to hit. One that's directly above me here after this cutscene ends. And then one more that's across the kingdom. Pretty high up. I'm going to be using a Gushin to fly over to. And then I'll be able to start the boss fight. Okay, I thought I butchered the inputs there for a second, but I'm okay. Gonna be using this Gushin right here to fly over to the Odyssey. And then I'm going to be using the height I get from the Odyssey to fly up to the Cliff Moon. The Gushins do have a max height, but if you land on something, you can extend that max height. As you can see here, it'll get just enough height to get this Cliff Moon. And then I'll be flying with the Gushin directly into the Storyman and starting up the boss fight. And if I do everything right, we're going to see Mollusk Lancer cheat in the children's video game. I'm not going to be the only one cheating, so hopefully I can nail this. Okay. Gonna be going out here and grabbing this Gushin directly ahead of me. And then my goal is to beat Mollusk to every location he's gonna be going to, and that'll confuse him, and he will clip out of bounds through the Hot Springs Island if I do everything right. And that just saves a couple of seconds over him going around the Hot Springs Island. So beating him to this spot. And then this is the hard part. The camera likes to focus and try to keep Mollusk on screen at all times, so I have to fight against the camera here this entire straightaway. As you can see, it's not working out in my favor. I got a whack camera there, but I should still be okay. I don't think I'm gonna get this skip, unfortunately. The camera was not in my favor, but oh, maybe I still got it. Hold on, hold. I may have just barely beat him there. I did. Okay, I can still make this work. This is very messy. Okay, so we clip through, and I can go over here. There we go. That was a very messy execution, but it still worked.
You got it still.
Yeah, that was very scary. I could have very easily died there. Oh my gosh. This, like I said earlier, that is by far the hardest boss fight for me. It's very hard to... During that last straightaway there, it's very hard to get any camera control whatsoever. But yeah, we're done with Seaside now. We're going on to Luncheon, which is another very difficult kingdom. It's essentially just a lava level, but the lava is like Pepto-Bismol. So, I'm going to be having to do some precise platforming so I don't fall in the lava at all. And we're going to have another kind of jank boss fight Cookatoo at the very end. And we'll get into why it's jank once we get there. But if you have any more donations, JD, go for it.
Yes, indeed. We got another $5 donation. I'm sensing a $5 donation train pattern here. Also towards the glitch exhibition that says, "Yeah, Mother Junior here to say trans rights are human rights." Wow! I don't know how good I did with that, but I tried my best. Thank you so much for that generous donation there, put towards that glitch exhibition.
Well, I'm actually zooming in this run. I just golded again.
Yes, let's go!
I think this was my first run where I actually got that boss rate right. That mollusk boss rate right.
Rock on.
Yeah, admittedly, I've not done very much all story runs. I've done a whole lot of world peace, and that's just from doing world peace and other categories too. There's some other longer categories that I like to do that do all the bosses, but this particular all story runs category, I've only done like 3 or 4 completions of. So my splits here are not like super optimal. So I'm able to gold stuff a little bit easier than I should be.
Hey,
And with
take the wins.
yeah, and with that is salt triple right there. You can just get a triple jump off that salt pile, and just barely get enough height to make it up to the salt moon. Pretty cool movement. Always cool when I can abuse Mario and Cappy to get a lot of height. And I can dive straight into this moon, and we're gonna be fighting Spirit again. And the change to this boss fight is that the arena is a rectangle, so it's much more difficult. Totally. Yep, this fight's totally different. And almost done with this guy. 2 more pops, 1, and then 2. Easy peasy.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. This boss fight's the same as Wooded. So, it was easy then, it's easy now.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to be going over to the cheese section and using the Pambro to break some cheese and pull a lever to get the next story moon here. That is my next order of business in this kingdom. Okay, this movement's kind of cool if I can nail it. Oh, come on. Come on, Mario. There we go. What happened there is something that happens pretty commonly in this game, unfortunately. It was a dropped input. Sometimes you'll press a button to wall jump or dive and nothing will happen. Oh, whoops. I missed the pillar there. Unfortunately, that is something that's very common in this game, is the dropped inputs. It's just a product of the Switch not being the most powerful piece of hardware there is. So, sometimes the game lags or Cappy interacts with something in the game, just drops your input. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You. Okay, I have to turn around and kill you. There's the lever I mentioned earlier, and then there is the Storyman that it spawned. It was stuck behind a cage. Now, savvy Odyssey viewers will know, back in the day there was a skip you could do to skip pulling that lever, but it has since been patched out in the current patch of the game. And it actually is slower because the current patch just saves time based off loads. There is you could clip in there with a turnip into Pambro back years and years ago. On version 1.0 of the game, the first version.
Good old speedrunning or...
I mean, this movement's pretty fun if I can nail it. Oh, that's not the direction I wanted to throw Cappy, but I can still make it work. I'm gonna land. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna be doing a triple jump over this mountain, and then if I am precise enough, I can do a spin pound onto that moon. It's very easy to just spin pound directly into the lava there. That ledge is not very big. Oh, whoops. That was a mistake. It's fine. I could do this. Okay, get back up. Okay. And just like that, we get to capture the best capture in the game, the meat. Let's get this lava around as a piece of meat here. And then Crooked will grab us and place us in the pot, and I could do an easy cap bounce just to grab this next multi-min. And now we are halfway done with Luncheon. No, we're just gonna be rushing straight for Cookie Tail now. We have to go through the cave to get to him. But yeah, just rushing straight for Cookie Tail. And I think this is the only moon we're really gonna be stopping for here that's out of the way, is this... Or I guess there's two, this one and then one more overlooking moon. The movement after this timer is quite precise, so hopefully I can nail it. If I failed, I will be dying. So hopefully that doesn't happen. There we go. You have to do a precise triple jump without Cappy there. So I have nothing to save me there if I fail that. Nice, I got that movement. That RCB is very hard. It is very easy to get slung in random directions because of the luncheon geometry. That mountain in particular is very hard to roll up. It's very easy to just roll in a random direction you didn't mean to. And then I'm just going to be abusing the fast nature of the Podobo here to hop down and grab this first moon, and then light a torch to spawn the storm in. This entire luncheon cave here is cycle-based, so if I make any mistakes, I'll be off-cycle. But luckily I didn't make any mistakes there. And then this next bit after I leave the store is probably the coolest movement in the whole run. Point blank. This is some moment from the KFR minigame, which is the Koopa free running. If you get to post-game, there's a bunch of races you could do against a bunch of Koopas throughout the kingdoms. And we just steal that here to do some fast movement to get up to Cookie Tail. Because the Koopa free running for this kingdom is just racing to the top of the kingdom. Nailed it. Perfect.
Nice.
Just a little bit more. One jump over some lava there. And with that, we are into Cookie Tail. Woo! This boss fight is quite jank, like I mentioned earlier. If there's a lot of times where you'll try to jump on his head and nothing will happen, or you'll try to do the skip here by hitting him in the butt area. There you go, right on the bottom, to speed him up, and a lot of times it just won't work. The hitboxes for this guy are very ambiguous at best. But as a speedrunner and someone who's done this fight way too many times, I know exactly how this fight works, so I can kind of fight the jank, or at least attempt to. There we go. First two phases went well. Also, which direction he goes during this phase is random, so I kind of just have to react to it. This is probably the hardest part of the fight. Oh, I bumped into a meat bit. That wasn't great. Okay, this is all thrown off now. Okay, hold on. Yeah, those bits of meat or whatever that's in the soup are very frustrating if you run into them. It can throw off your movement like it did there for me, but I was able to react to it nicely. Okay. Last three kingdoms. The last three kingdoms of the run are all exactly the same as any percent. There's nothing you can really do to skip any of the story moons in any category for the last three, so they're the exact same as any percent, but still lots of flashy stuff to show off for sure. JD, if you have any donations to read, this next kingdom is a great time because it is a 3-minute auto-scroller. There's not really much you could do to speed up the dragon other than just being on top of it to grab the swords, picking a damage hit. So
Totally valid. Yeah, no worries, CheeseJay. Thank you so much for that. And chat, you hear this call to action. Let's get some donations in support of Trans Lifeline. You are indeed watching CheeseJay show off Super Mario Odyssey all story moons right here at Fastest First Fall Fest in support of Trans Lifeline. We're proud to be raising money for Trans Lifeline for the 5th consecutive year. Founded in 2014, Trans Lifeline is a crisis and peer support hotline run by trans people and for trans and questioning callers. Calls to Trans Lifeline are fully anonymous, confidential, and use informed consent when connecting to resources outside of the hotline. Operating both in the US and Canada, Trans Lifeline needs our help to meet the ongoing demand for their services, and we hope you consider joining us in supporting their life-saving work using the command !donate in chat. For more information, please visit www.translifeline.org. Earlier, at the beginning of the run, I had asked for folks to shout out their favorite Mario power-ups. Another curiosity that I have, if you'd like to submit it in a donation chat, is who your favorite Mario enemy is. Now, I know that Bowser's probably going to get a lot of votes, but let's try to come up with some other suggestions too, right? So let's think about that as well. Remember that a $25 minimum donation gets you entered to win such amazing prizes, and $50 cumulatively gets you entered in to win this weekend's grand prize, a 512 gigabyte LCD Steam Deck donated by Sonic Mega. $50 for that awesome system? Oh my gosh, chat, you don't want to miss out. Get those donations in.
Yes, very many cool prizes that are up for grabs here, so be sure to get your donations in. And like I mentioned earlier, there's no way to really speed this boss fight up other than me taking a damage hit to get on top of him and just pull out the swords as quickly as I can. And this phase after I get knocked off, there is zero way to speed it up, so it ends up just turning into an auto-scroller. This boss, I think, is very cool from a casual perspective. It has a lot of shock value the first time you come here, but after your first playthrough, it becomes very boring in an auto-scroller, so not much you can do.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, CheeseJay, who is your favorite Mario baddie?
Hold on, my favorite Mario enemy, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Give me a second to think of this. I'm put on the spot now.
Sorry about that, but you are doing great with this dragon fight.
I think I like Topper in this game. Topper's pretty cool. I like the fast strats you can do with Topper. Harriet has some really cool fast strats coming up too in Bowser's that are fairly new. But outside of Odyssey, I'm trying to think. I'm not... Because this is like the main Mario game I play, so it's hard for me to think.
Still counts, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with Topper or Harriet for now. There's some pretty cool strats we're going to be able to showcase here in Bowser's. This next instance coming up is the one instance where the Brutals actually change a little bit, become harder.
Good stuff.
But with that, the auto-score is done, and we're going to be moving on to Bowser's here. Final two kingdoms of the speedrun.
Final two kingdoms, and again, $10,000 within our grasp, chat. Let's get those donations in. I'd love to announce that we got to 5 digits. Give it to me, give it to me!
Okay. And we're moving on to Bowser's. Like I said earlier, there's no way of skipping any of the story modes here, so we just have to do what the game intends for us, but it doesn't mean there's not flashy movement. A lot of the movement in this kingdom has become very optimized because of the 80% category. So hopefully I can do it justice and show off a lot of the flashy movement. This first story main we gotta grab here, it involves us going across 2 wires. Just like that. And then killing this ogre on this other island over here. Perfect. That was as good as that could have gone. And just like that, we have one of 4 story moons. We're going to be needing to grab 2 other moons that aren't story moons throughout the kingdom to get enough. As you can see in the top left, the circle icons that are usually there are gone because the game's trying to trick you into thinking this is the last kingdom of their game, but it is not, so...
Spoilers!
Spoilers, yeah. But luckily, as a speedrunner, I just know exactly how many moons I need to leave, so not having the moon circle doesn't really matter. And then this is one of the coolest pieces of movement in the game as well, shards. This has a lot of very technical and precise movement. Hopefully I can nail it all. That is known as dive back to grab that second shard. I can throw Cappy out and then home him in with a long jump to grab that shard. And then I can capture this last bird, knock a bomb into this box, and then home Cappy in to grab this last shard. That went, like, as good as it could have. That was really good. That's a really hard section. I'm glad it went well. And now we're going to have a pretty cool capture warp coming up here. I did one earlier in Metro, but I didn't mention it. It's just whenever I leave Cappy behind, and then I can home him in to capture something after I grab a Power Moon, also known as a Jam Strat. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a tricky one here with this moon around the corner. and this wire. Oh, a little bit of a bonk. Hold on, my angle was a little bit off there. I think that should still work. I didn't get it. No big deal. I can just hop back down this way. That's not really a big time save. It's more of a minor one. And now we're going to be going on to Harriet and Topper. There's a very big debate here of which one to do first, because they're just both sitting here and you could do either one. But I like to choose Topper first. So I'm going to be doing Topper here. It's going to be knocking off his hat and then jumping on him here. The change here that you can see is he has way more hats. So I have to knock more hats off onto him, and then I have to time a precise jump there that I missed, unfortunately. So I just have to dodge his hats here, try to figure out which one is him as a backup. Okay. There we go, he's this one. Yeah, that jumping on his hat there on that phase is very precise. And now we're going to be going on to Harriet, and I mentioned I could do some cool stuff with Harriet in Bowser's earlier. And I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do a trick called Star Bomb here. I think it's better if I kind of show it off and then explain it, hopefully. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, so if I did it right there, I could have knocked one bomb at her, and then at the same time knocked another bomb at her. Like, knocked two at her, and then that second bomb would actually float in the air, and I could use it to speed up this phase right here, and essentially just get an instant hit on her. But my angle with Mario was very slightly off. It's a very precise angle you need to make that happen on that first phase. Not a big deal, though. It's a very minimal time loss. And just like that, we're done with Harriet. And done with both of the bunnies fights here. And now we're going to be climbing up and going straight into the Mecha Brutal boss fight, which is arguably the flashiest boss fight in the game, so hopefully I can nail it. We're just going to be trying to stay on top of the Mecha Brutal the entire time. But before we get there, I do have to climb the entire kingdom. We are only about halfway up to the Mecha Brutal at this point, so I have to do a lot of vertical movement with Mario here to get all the way to the top, and we're going to see the Pokio capture here coming up. Once again. Gonna be doing a little bit of a oh, I missed the triple. I can just hop around this way, though, to get this Crate Spoon. There we go, got it in there. And then I'm gonna be doing a blind jump where I can't see where I'm going, so hopefully I don't die. There we go. The camera likes to fight you hard there, so you just have to know where you are midair, essentially. And then, like I said earlier, we're using the Pokey to climb the rest of the way up. Just flinging with the bird very fast, using motion controls to get max height. Lots of motion controls in this game. And now we're on to Mecha Brutal, which I said earlier, probably the fastest boss fight. Hopefully I can nail all the strats here. A very hard boss fight, especially as a beginner. So, hopefully I can do everything. We're going to be doing a backflip to land on the peg, and then climbing the second peg to get right up to Rango here. And then I can hit Topper with some precise movement. Oh, I almost got flung off. Okay. It's going to be standing in a precise spot here to get the Mecha Brutal to bonk its head twice against the wall. Just speeds up the invincibility phase here a little bit. And then he's going to run back to the center. Going to be timing a hit on Harriet, just like that. And then doing some precise cap bounces to land directly on Topper, or spear it rather, and hit him just like that. That's known as target acquired. And that boss fight went really well. I'm very happy with that.
Nice job.
And with that, we are going to be done with Bowser's here, moving on to Moon, and I'll be able to do the Moon Cave incentive finally.
Woo!
Final Kingdom in the run coming up here. Only one boss left, and that is Bowser's. This is actually the last 3 moons we're going to see in the whole run. So all we have to do is go up to Bowser as fast as we can, beat him up, and then do the escape sequence, and then that'll be the end of the run. But of course, we're going to be doing the intended way of getting up to him, which is the Moon Cave. So yeah, just a couple more cutscenes here. If you got any more last-second donations, JD, go for it.
Yeah, and get those last-second donations in chat. Want to remind everyone that the name character bid war for Pokemon Legends Arceus does close before the start of the run. Right now, Trans Rights is in the lead, $25, and the second place tie for Fert and Bruce at $5 apiece means that it is still anyone's game, including new name submissions that could come up in donations. But we got a $50 donation from Dante Wolf towards that glitch exhibition that said, did someone say donation? Here's 50 for a glitch exhibition in Pokemon. Hats off to CheeseJay for this awesome Mario run. Indeed, hats off to you, CheeseJay. She's been doing amazing.
Yep, Final Kingdom here, and we're going to see Mario do a quick outfit change here. So he's ready for the rutting Bowser is happening. I guess I didn't mention that. The story of this game is that Bowser's trying to steal Peach and get married to her in the Moon Kingdom. And we're going to do a quick outfit change during this cutscene here. And Mario is now in his finest tuxedo and hat for the wedding. And we're going to be heading straight for the Moon Cave here. And I'm going to be able to showcase all the fun movement that is in there. It's like the Moon Cave essentially is a giant lava gauntlet with a lot of precise platforming. So hopefully I can nail all of it. And shout out to DeBomb for some DeBomb vectors there to get some fast midair movement with that triple jump. And if I do everything right, I can make a cycle there to hop right over that Moon Snake. And here's the Moon Cave right here. Hopping right into it. Typically, you would skip this in speedruns with the skip known as Moon Cave Skip, but the incentive got met, so I get to showcase it, which is very fun. Okay, so to start off this kingdom, we're just gonna, or to start off this Moon Cave, we're gonna be hopping across these pillars here. The game wants you to capture some dry bones that are below, but that's slow, so I'm just going to be doing some fast movement across these pillars to hopefully make a fast cycle here, so the lava will go down and I can just dodge it perfectly. Oh, that's not... Okay, well that's a perfect example of Cappy not cooperating. There was a coin in the fence post there, and I was directly ahead of that tank, but he prioritized the coin. If he did what I wanted him to, he would have captured the tank and I would have survived, but no such luck.
Cappy was not on our team this go around.
It's okay, we'll get right back there in a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna do this time. I'm not even gonna mess around with that again. There we go. Break open that cage to reveal the wire to get up here. Do some precise movement here. Let's get right by that Wiggler because I knocked his half off, so he can't damage me anymore. Hop around this corner. Hop right over this Wiggler. And then we just get to skip the rest of the Moon Cave here using this Bonsai Bill. As you can see, this Bonsai Bill goes much faster than regular bullet bills and lasts longer, so we can abuse that to just skip across the rest of the Moon Cave.
Very nice.
And then we can just wall jump between these two pillars to get up to the top here. And after we finish wall jumping here, in a second, I'm gonna get... Okay, I'm below the ceiling there. I have to move a little bit. There we go. Oh, I'm capping him again, homing in on the coin. And we're gonna be able to fight Madame Brutal now. This boss fight typically gets skipped in like 99.9% of categories, but we get to do it here. Gonna take an intentional hit there just so she doesn't move and I can fling the chain chomp back at her real fast. And I'm gonna be standing in precise spots here and there. We're gonna quickly knock off the hats on this chomp and fling it right back at her nice and fast. And then one more phase. Sandwiching the chomp between Mario and Cappy to knock off the first hat, and then just standing on top of it and abusing homing cap throws to knock off the rest. And with that, Madame Brutal's dead. We have one more boss fight. Just Bowser left. Okay. Now we just gotta roll directly into the chapel here. Gonna do a little bit of a blind dive there, just to get to this runway a little bit quicker. Lots of rolling here to get to Bowser. Lots of controller shaking. Knock down the door. And here is Bowser with Peach, fighting over the ring. Now we get to beat up Bowser, which is very fun. Hopefully everything goes well here. Lots of fast strats. I didn't get that fast shot, no big deal. What I was trying to do is do a spin throw, so Cappy would grab the hat and then spin around me so I could get right up to him and skip that phase where he's throwing rocks at me. Not a big deal. Very minor time loss. And now with this fire phase here, where Bowser spews fire at me, the hitbox doesn't really exist, so I can kind of just hop over it. It ends up just being a floor scan. The fire itself has no hitbox. So I can just be inside of it and have nothing happen to me. Love showing that off. And then this fight ends up being the same as Cloud with the fast hat captures. Yep. Okay. And then he's going to speed fire at me again. And I could just do the smallest jump in the world. And hop over it. And final phase here of the boss fight. Taking damage once again. And one more time, gotta punch him. And then the moon's gonna fall apart here, and we're gonna have to capture Bowser and use him to escape here. Lots of fun platforming as Bowser coming up. And this will be the final 2 minutes of the run here. I should mention that there is a skip that is used at top level known as 2D section skip. And essentially you could skip this 2D section coming up here that's right past that pillar. That pillar is going to make a bridge fall and it'll walk into a 2D section. You can actually scale the outside of the 2D section because the 2D section will fall apart and the sections that fall apart actually have a hitbox on the outside. So you can use those hitboxes to scale the outside of it. But it is like 6 or 8 very precise jumps on the outside that are very hard to do, so I'm not going to be doing that. And if you mess up any one of them, it will result in a death, which is like a minute time loss. So I'm just going to be going on the inside here and doing regular 2D skip, which is that jump around the corner there. And then I could hop around this ledge too, just like that. And with that, we're done with the 2D section. We're going to be coming up on the final room of the game here, which is the Pillars room. I'm going to be trying to shoot fireballs very precisely as Bowser here to knock over 4 pillars to reveal the cube in the middle. Okay. This is also like a cycle-based section, I believe, so I have to make sure I'm not too slow and I'm making all the cycles I want to make. Knocking over that first pillar. Using fireballs to very quickly knock over these pillars. And then last pillar here. And time's going to come up whenever I shoot out of the wire here after I break open this cube with Bowser, so I can call it out. Okay, coming up here. There's the wire. And then time will be in about 5 seconds here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time.
Time! GG's!
Thank you for having me. I very much enjoyed doing that run. This category is one that does not get turned off very often, so I was very happy to do that.
Oh my goodness, and we thank you, CheeseJay, for showing off those amazing, amazing speedrunning gameplay. Any shoutouts that you'd like to share? Where can people find you?
Yeah, typically I do lots of Mario Odyssey gameplay over on twitch.tv/CheeseJay with 2 Ys. You'll see me do SMO there all the time. I've been running this game for a very, very long time now. I have no plans on stopping. So if you like seeing Mario Odyssey speedrun content, you can check me out there. Typically I like to try to focus on some of the longer categories, but these shorter ones are fun too. So if you want to see me just run all sorts of Mario Odyssey categories, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, CheeseJay, for that amazing all-story moons plus completed Moon Cave run of Super Mario Odyssey. You'll love to see it. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in this cozy kickoff to the Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2024 supporting Trans Lifeline. It has been an absolute pleasure being your host for these first few runs. I will be handing it off to our next host in just a moment, but I do want to remind everyone that we have that naming character bid war for Pokemon Legends Arceus for the start of the run. We've got Trans Rights in the lead at $25, and then in second place, as a tie, we have Fert and Bruce sitting at $5, with complete liberty for y'all to donate yet another option too, to have that naming character bid war for our upcoming game. For now, we're going to go ahead and show off some artwork content in the theme of Pokemon Arceus, actually, from me. I had drawn our great mascot, Peebee, inside one of the protagonist's outfits here. If you were to choose the female protagonist costume outfits, this is what she would be running in. Also, big thank you to Wesley Wolf rating on in and bringing your Wolf's Den community on over to here. Once again, everyone, you are watching Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2024, raising money for Trans Lifeline. For those of you who are just joining us, we are going to be taking a quick break after we just finished this amazing Super Mario Odyssey run. And in that, I'll be transitioning over to being in the chat with all of y'all before our next host goes ahead and takes it away. So, see you later, chat. Continue being cute, and let's get those donations in for trans rights.
Hey there, everyone. I am Rubicante, and for those of you still with us during the ad break, I am going to be with you during the next, longest run of the marathon. We've got it on the schedule for 4 hours and 10 minutes, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I will give you a full and complete introduction to myself when we get back from the ad break. But in the meantime, let's see some Pokemon emotes in the chat. If you got your best Pokemon emotes down there, let's see them. Let's flood some Pokemon into the chat. I hope you guys are having a great morning, or afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is where you are. It is morning still for me where I am. I loved that run of Super Mario Odyssey we just had. Cheese did an amazing job, and just, some of the movement in that game is just wonderful to see. And while we wait to come back from that ad break, Fall Fest 2024 is once again being sponsored by Furry Logic Escape Rooms. Furry Logic brings escape room experiences to conventions all over the United States, including FurryCons and speedrunning events. Follow them on Blue Sky at furrylogic.bsky.social or use the command !furrylogic in chat for a link. Keep an eye out for them at your next event. I am double checking the bid wars we have going on here, and it looks like Trans Rights is still in the lead with $25 for the character name. Fert and Bruce are there with $5. This is your chance. If you want a character name other than one of those for $26 right now, you can come in and snipe it. That's going to close right at the beginning of the run. Alternatively, if you want to make sure that Trans Rights wins that bid war, go ahead and put some more money towards that, because there is nothing wrong with donating to Trans Rights. We are thrilled to once again partner with Timberwolf Trading to bring our Fall Fest 2024 Marathon shirts to you. Use the command !merch in chat to browse our new Fall Fest 2024 designs from Sky Blue Arts, Flux, Rotem, CheeseJay, and Autumn Wyvern. $5 from each shirt purchased will be donated directly to Trans Lifeline. They're only available until the end of the event, so don't miss out on your chance to pick one up today. You can also check out the entire Timberwolf Trading store online at www.timberwolftrading.ca, where you can order your own custom stickers, shirts, laser engravings, and more from this furry-owned business. And I believe we are now back from our ad break. So welcome back, all of you who were watching those ads. Thank you. That does support our marathons and helps us keep putting on these events for great causes. My name is Rubicante, and I am your friendly neighborhood Mewtwo Wolf hybrid, also known as an Awutu. Sorry, not sorry. I am going to be with you for the next 4-ish hours as we head through Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I think, if I'm not incorrect, the reason they assigned me to this hosting shift because I'm half Pokemon. So I am going to be able to translate for chat what all the Pokemon are saying in-game. You would be surprised how many of them are going to be telling you to donate to Trans Lifeline. That is, after all, why we are here. You are watching Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2024 in support of Trans Lifeline. We are proud to be raising money for Trans Lifeline for the 5th consecutive year. Founded in 2014, Trans Lifeline is a crisis and peer support hotline run by trans people for trans and questioning callers. Calls to Trans Lifeline are fully anonymous, confidential, and use informed consent when connecting to resources outside of the hotline. Operating in both the US and Canada, Trans Lifeline needs our help to meet the ongoing demand for their services. We hope you consider joining us in supporting their life-saving work by using the command !donate in chat. For more information, please visit www.translifeline.org. And yes, Sume Wolf, I can speak Pokemon. I will demonstrate that to you for the next 4 hours or so. And we also have a couple of donation incentives coming up for Pokemon Legends Arceus. First of all, we have A update to our name character bid war, Furt has jumped out into the lead at $55, followed by Trans Rights at $25 and Bruce at $5. So, you want trans rights to be the file name, chat? You know what you got to do. We'll also be opening up a little bit later a couple more bid wars for the run. You'll be able to name Gastrodon, and you will be able to choose whether we are a part of the Pearl or Diamond clan. In addition, we have a glitch exhibition for Pokemon Legends, and trust me when I say you do not want to miss this. It is going to be amazing. We are sitting at $356 out of $750 for that incentive right now. Everybody wants more Pokemon. We're over halfway there. Let's see if we can get there. And chat, if we can get there, we are going to be very, very, very close to hitting that big 10K number. So let's get money in towards that. Oh, and speaking of donations for the name bid war, Adalor sends in $50 to name the character Furt. There is no message or comment with that, but clearly Furt getting some love. So if we want trans rights to be that file name, y'all are going to have to throw some money that way. Thank you very much, Adalor, for that generous donation. Thank you so much. And if you want to throw some money towards that naming incentive, all you have to do is type !donate in chat. That will give you all the information you need. And if you needed even more reason to donate, thanks to the incredible generosity of our Fastest First community, we're thrilled to offer a different assortment of prizes, as well as a unique grand prize for each day throughout the event. During our weekend stream, cumulative donations of at least $50 during the stream will automatically qualify you to win our weekend grand prize, a 512 gig LCD Steam Deck donated by Sonic Mega. Additional prizes are available as well if you make a single donation of at least $25. For a full list of the prizes available each day, use the command !prizes in chat.